Hello, welcome back. Vector Graphics, Adobe Illustrator. We are in session 9, as you can see. Today is a portfolio builder day. I got a fun assignment, and it lines up perfectly with what is happening in the world right now. So it'll be fun. And I think it comes in thinking that like, oh, it's gonna be really hard. It's not as hard as you think. And when it's a portfolio builder, as you know, it is the only thing you have to do for the rollover Wednesday to Wednesday. So it shouldn't be too complicated. Of course, make sure you turn in your attendance. As always, make sure you're doing this. It looks like everybody pretty much turns in this, which is good. What is grayscale and design? Using only gray, white, and black tones. Boom. It's not anything to do with color. Grayscale. Continue. Yeah, one. I'm just going to close that out. You know what to do there. Answer them. It should take you about 5 minutes, and you are attended the class. Mid-session project review. As I mentioned, use this. If you want me to look at your work before you turn it in, give you a little tricks and tips and how to make it improve. That's the way to do it. I love doing it. I love helping out and being like, oh, correct this, do this, adjust this. So make sure you're using the mid-session project review. And this week, portfolio builder number 3, you will be creating a set of 6 icons that visually represent aspects of your life, interest, experience. What do you like to do? You're going to be creating 6 icons. Now, this is reminiscent of stuff that is happening right now. The Olympics. In the Olympics, we represent sports with an icon, and they've been doing this for many years. What this does is it's an international way of speaking. So instead of having to list a sport in 30 different languages, you can represent that sport with a single image that is recognizable around the world, as long as you know what that sport is. Like the skeleton, like maybe not everybody knows what skeleton is, but from the image, you understand the idea. So what I want you to do over the next week is pick 6 different topics, items from your life. What do you like to do? And it can be simple to complex. It's up to you. Now, this is the Milano Cortina versions. These are very fancy, like line strokes, whatever, like it's very cool. It is very reminiscent. I'm forgetting the name of this type of drawing this is. Where it's like you kind of like it's almost continuous with one line only. It is not, but that's what it's reminiscent of, and it shows style and grace, and like it's very different than other ones that have been done in the past. So if I have examples down here of other sports, but don't worry. Like, see, you can see how simple some of these are in their, iconography. Like a lot of them included the people. Mexico City in 1968 didn't. They just showed the thing that you use maybe. But then they went back a lot of the years they're using people as the iconography, but you don't have to. You can use just the object. And I want you to think simple. So here are just like a ton of just different like icons. And I want you, for this, you're going to be restricted in color usage to help it be like more complete. We get crazy with color and things don't turn out well because we're trying to make, like, I don't know, make it look real. But it's actually easier if we step back and we just reduce the amount of colors we use. Then we're thinking about the icon and not the colors. So there's a couple step process to this, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to start one. I'm going to show you some stuff. So I won't do the design document creation yet. I'll wait a minute. You're just going to be creating 3x3 documents, 6 artboards. We've done it. We've done it with 3 all the time. It's not going to be a big deal. I will go over that in a minute. But I want to talk more about the design process. So you will create a set of 6 icons that visually represent aspects of your identity, interests, or experiences. Each icon should be minimal in form, using simple shapes and clean lines to communicate its meaning effectively. So think about when you think about your phone and how small those little icons are and what they need to visually represent. And that's kind of the steps that we're going on. It should be clear what the icon represents. All 6 icons should have the same visual style. What do I mean by that? So if we look down, and I do this one. If you go like Tokyo, they're all very similar. It's like the uniform is white, like that's like the uniform is kind of the white part, and then the body parts are black. Here, each one's a different color, but it's very angular. Then we go to Munich and Montreal, for some reason are almost exactly the same. But they all look the same. And that's part of the trick here, that if you make one icon, then they all should follow suit. And it's actually easier than you think. It's just like, okay, if I do one, the other ones should be as simple or as intricate as the others. So I want them to look like they all came from the same person. So you don't do one that is like really, like, let's say it's a drawing and sketchy, and then the other one is just a block of a square. Like those two don't match. So I want you to think about getting your icons to look the same. You can visually, see that here too. When you look at these little ones, like any of these ideas of simplicity in icons show a very similar design for every icon. All right. So they should have the same visual style. No typography on the icons, no photography on the icons. Simple. You're an illustrator. It's not typographic fundamentals, and this is not Photoshop. So we're working with Illustrator only. This project is going to be also used in the future on another project. So you need to follow the rules for it to turn out right. Now, you need to pick 6 unique and different colors for the background. So each icon needs to have a different color background. No 2 can be the same. Each icon should consist of only 2 to 3 colors. So I'll teach you how to use the tints again, how to make a spot color. That will help you tremendously. No black or white may be used. That's it. This is your chance to use color, but color only. I should put in there like no outlines. Okay, but that's like no black. So no black or white may be used. Make sure you use contrasting colors for the icons, so the backgrounds and icons stand out. And then I just want you to label each icon, and that's just as a reference at this point. We will remove those. It's just so I understand if you drew something, like I know what it was. Maybe you do something, I have no clue of what it is. And you have, I don't know why this popped into my mind. Like you'd have like two like needle-like objects crisscross, and I'm like, what is that? And you're like, oh, I'm in the knitting. I'm like, okay, I don't know the tools used for knitting. Now I get it, but thank you for just including the label. And that's what you need to do. So it's 6 icons that represent you. Now, it's the Olympics, and you don't have to be into sports. It can be anything. I'm in the video games. All right, let's see that controller. I'm into painting. All right, let's see a paintbrush. I'm into food. All right, illustrate a piece of food, you know, like a piece of pizza or something. It can be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily always be about activities or sports. I'm in the books. Do a book. Do a book icon. You know, like, what are you interested? What do you like? What do you do? What, when you're not rolling your eyes and complaining about this class, what are you wishing you could be doing instead of this class? And that's an icon. So it should be easy. Just like, what do you want to do? So, like I said, it's kind of based off of this idea of the Olympics, but I'm not saying that you have to pick a sport. I will pick a sport to do my example, and maybe I'll do like try to do more than one example to get you going. But I'm going to teach you how to do the tints. I'm going to talk about the colors. We're going to set up the document, and I'm going to show you one of the main things too is using reference. References will speed up your process by 50%. Why? Because you're just copying what is real. I'm not expecting you to like sit there and try to imagine anything. You can find a picture of what you want online and copy it and make it your own. That is okay to do. It's just using a visual reference. I do it all the time, constantly. This is like a double-sided thing, but I'll talk about it in a minute. So I enjoy the sport of disc golf. So I found a picture that I like of somebody disc golfing. If you're into video games, look up your favorite video game controller. Find an image of that and just kind of save it to your desktop. I found this guy's throwing. Perfect. This will work perfect. I'm going to save the image as, and this is just like you do for the paragraph book review things that we do when I have you find the images. So I'm going to save that. So I have a reference. Now I'm going to build our file. I didn't mean to close that. We all know how to build the files. This is actually not too different than anything we've done before. It is not different at all. So I'm going to create a new file. The document size is 3 wide by 3 tall. I want 6 artboards. I can put in the 6 now, but I'm going to go to that create more anyway. Bleed, set the bleed at 1/4 inch. Go to more settings. Make sure you have 6 artboards. They're in the horizontal. Just makes it easier. They're in a row. Spacing is 1 inch apart. We have our bleed, and we create our document. Boom, there it is. First thing we do is we create our margin. Just going to zoom in on the 1. Pull a square. Hopefully we can do what we need it to do. It's 2.5, not 5.2. 2.5 tabbed 2.5. That's the correct size. We want no fill. We want magenta 1-point stroke. We want to make sure it's centered. Make sure we copy that. And we go to edit and paste on all artboards. I'm going to open my ruler. I'm going to pull a guide on each artboard so I know where the exact center is. I'm just going to hold down the space bar, move over, just get a guide on each one. just good design habits to get into. Oh, that one was off. Now I'll tell you a story of something that just happened before class. Just so you understand that you're working with a computer and they're not perfect. A student who are nameless, no, was working, and every time the student drew a box and they hit like no fill, it would turn it blue. We closed the program, reopened the program. We opened the program in a previous version. We restarted the computer. What it came down to is something happened within that document, and a computer bug happened in only that document. So after like 5 minutes of like troubleshooting, restarting, redoing, we downloaded the file again and opened a fresh version of it, and it worked. So that's just so you know that every once in a while, the computers will mess up and you have to stop and restart. If you run into any sort of problem, just know it's part of life. I just got to restart the computer. I do it. I make sure I restart my computer every night. And I feel like at least once during the day, I end up having to restart it for something. It's just a computer. It's a machine. And if it's not doing what you want, restart it. And that's across the board for anything. I had something weird happening like online. I can't remember what it was. And I had to like restart the browser and it wasn't working. I restarted my computer and it reset the browser and everything worked again. So just make sure you're doing that. Like you're keeping an eye out on that stuff. So we got our margin made. And then I'm going to go to template. There we go. Now let's create some crop marks. Now, a bunch of things to start thinking about while you're doing this. And you don't have to jump in, you know, start slow. Is colors. What colors do you want to do? You have to pick 6 different colors. Do you want to do what colors do you want to be? They should all be fairly different from each other. Don't do like pink, lighter pink, lightest pink, super light pink. I ran out of pink. You know what I mean? Pick different colors to give yourself some playroom. All right, I made the crop marks. Let's do this, make it crop marks. There we are. Make sure it's no fill, no stroke. I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna edit and paste all on all artboards. Doom, we're done. Crop marks are done. Couple more layers to create. Icon. Let's create another layer. Type. This is where you put that label that won't be a part of it, but it's just as guidance for me in background. All right. If you are so inclined and want to play around, I have a link to this Adobe color picker, and you can dig around, you can play around. It may open looking different than yours, but if you're like, I don't know what colors to pick, well, you can use this and it will know your account. Oh, please. All right. You can explore, you can check out trends, and you can dig around. So, or you can create your own. So if you wanted to, you can like go in here and you could pick, you know, something from the list. And if analogous, it's all colors all close together. Now you can add as many as you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can start to pull these items around and move them to kind of get, you know, something that you want. Like this is analogous, or I could try, you know, monochromatic won't work for this project. Triads might. Oh, why is it so dark? Pick different ones on the triad. You can look at, you know, if you're like, oh, this is weird, it's hard, then hit explore and put in, like, I don't know, summer. I mean, they got that right there. And then you can go through here and be like, oh, I like, look at this set of colors. I like that. And then you can click on it and you can download it, and it tells you all the information about the color. So if you are one of those people, just, you know, vaporwave is this hot new, I kind of hate it, thing, like with those, you could do these. So there are ways to get that 6 color, and this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you can change that to 6. View. Then you have to find one more. It's always 5, I think, but you can always, you know, add one more. So dig around and you can play with that. And this link is in the assignment. And just go, yeah, or go to trends. What's trending? Ooh. Bunch of the same. Add one to it. So that's a place to think about. I need 6 different colors, and you're starting with 6 different color bases. Then I want you to, like, pick your color, and I want you to do that thing where we create a spot color. So I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to create a square. I'm going to fill that square. Look at all those spot colors I already have created. I don't know. Start with red. But I want to change the red. I want to make it mine. I'm going to make it a little bit more orange. Oh, I'm going to do orangey. Oh, like burnt umber. All right. So I chose my color. I'm going to, and then that's from the palette. So think of the painting palette. You move these sliders around to get that perfect color. Now I'm going to click on the item next to it. And this is color swatches. But I want to make this a swatch spot color so I can tint it. And I can go from 100% rusty orange all the way down to 0. But it allows me to have, you know, full play over the entire color. And all you need to do is go to plus. You can name it dark orange. Then you have to color type. You need to go to spot color. If you don't do that, it won't work. But it will also indicate to you if you did it right. So my swatch name is dark orange. It's spot color. I'm going to hit OK. Now in here, real small, that color has a little dot or a spot. That means it is now a spot color. So what that allows me to do is I can create tints of this color. So if I select that, it's the spot color, but then I go back to the palette and click on that, I can move that. And every time I do that, I can pick from 100 to 0. And these are exact tints of the color that you have created. So they'll always match. And that's a great way to work on this. And I want you to do this. I'm going to look for spot colors in your design. Because you can do anything. It's like color scale. It's like grayscale, but it's color. So that is what I want you to do. I'm going to go through this one more time. I'll make one more spot color. All right. So I'm going to pick a new color. I'm going to go back out and I'll start here and I'm going to adjust it to make it my own. I want to kind of dark. Oh, I kind of, yeah. There. I like that. So I created my color. I'm on the palette, right? Now I'm going to switch over to the swatches. I'm going to go to the plus. I'll call it dark blue. So if you're in my 103 or you've taken GRDS 103, you've learned about color. So I have done complementary colors. So I did an orange and a blue. They're opposite on the color wheel. So if you need 6 colors, you can play that way. It's orange, blue, yellow, purple, red, green. There's 6 colors, you know, that works out. So I rename my swatch. I'm going to make sure I hit spot color and I'm going to hit OK. And I get my little spot color right there. And then once I start, I can color it and do any tint of that color and it will be a perfect match. Because I know, and I've seen it, people are like trying to fake it, and you sit there and you pick a color. Dare I show you what not to do? No. No, this is what you need to do. I'm not going to show you what not to do. You sit there and you try to make it a lighter version of the same color where you could just do like one step and be done. Like, why wouldn't you? All right. So I'm going to fill my first artboard with the background color. And when we do it, we go all the way out to the red bleed, right? We use that bleed. It's an industry standard idea that you need to do when you're creating any sort of document. Why do we do it? Because when they cut it, when they trim it, we want to make sure that the color's all the way to the edge. And this is a guarantee that when you produce your piece, it'll produce the way you wanted it. And this is something they've been doing since Gutenberg. Actually, not really, because Gutenberg didn't have full color to the edge. When whoever invented full color to the edge and cropping, that's when it started. I don't know that design history. So, all right. So I got the blue, just starting at 100%. Doesn't matter what you start out as, but I have my color background on. I'm going to go and click on icon, and you can do this wherever you want. You know, like sometimes I like to just work off the artboard because I feel more free. Like it's not on the artboard, but I should size it. I need to size it. So I got icon, and I'm going to place my image. So I'm going to go to File, Place, and I'm going to find that image of that dude. And I'm going to get it in there, and now it's too big. So I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm actually going to make the guy as close to the size of the margin without going over as I can. I want to keep the icon within the margin. I'm going to do that because I don't want the disc in his hand. And now I'm going to lock this. Object, lock, selection. Now you can do this 1,000 different ways. And if you want to do it like, you know, you start out, but they all your icons need to look the same-ish. So if you do one thing, you do it on all of them. But you can just start out one. You could trace this guy. I could use the pen tool and go and just start and trace him. And be, you know, this would be then every icon. I'm going to find somebody doing that. And this is very Olympic. And I'm just using that pen tool as we have learned to do. Oh, I can't see what I'm doing. So what I do is I simply go over here and I swap while I'm tracing that color from fill to stroke only. And I can go around and I could trace this person. And we've all seen this before. I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to speed it up and do a not great job just to keep, so I can show you different versions. Yoink, yoink. Oh, I can show you something. Yeah. He's got weird hair. Oh, I cut out a big chunk out of the back of his head. But like I said, I'm just doing this to get it done. And then, so this is one way. You can simplify the form. I'll do that next. You can use the object. I'll show you one of those. I actually did a bunch because I'll tell you a story about what I do when I'm bored. All right, so I got the guy, and this is a simple version. I would do it much better if I was doing it for the class, for my assignment. And I'm going to unlock all. I can move that guy away. I can find that, and then I'll change the fill. And then because if it's and I can do a light version. And so like I have this icon of this guy throwing. I actually was going to separate out the disc, but I can still, make it the size. Very simple. If I wanted to do it, like I said, no white, but I could go down to like 2% fill or something like that. There's one way. You could do another way where maybe object, lock, selection, and look at examples. What if I did like that old school, kind of like the bathroom icon, the bathroom person? You'll know it in a minute when I say it. So it's rectangles. I'm just going to take one rectangle, and that's this part of his leg. And then I'm going to do another rectangle, and that's his foot. Let's get those to match. And I do another rectangle, and this is his thigh. The bathroom person I'm talking about. The bathroom person that tells you if it's male or female. The universal symbol. So you can build it out of these shapes. And you may say, get it close. I'm not going to keep going with this that far, but you can see what I mean. Like I can build this dude out of shapes. So I can just copy some of the shapes so I don't have to redo them. Make sure like the knee is okay. Pull that. Let's get this foot. It's very kind of like archaic, but you kind of get the point, of what to do. Actually, I hate that. Let's do this. This. Then we're going to make another one of these. For his knee. And then we get this in there. Get those lined up. So it makes a knee. But, I could, build them out of squares and then change that. And then I could even like group the clothing in the arm and have the clothing be darker. Like the pants could be 80% and the skin 50. The contrast. I go to 45. And then when I put that, on my color, it sticks out. See that? What I'm getting at? Like there, it's tint tone shade. Like now it's more dynamic maybe than this one, which is singular. You could play around. I just thought of this idea. Again, if you do it on one, you do it on them all. But like if I got this guy and then say I did something like, now I'm thinking like super weird. Like if I did like, which one would I want? I want one to be darkest and one to be lightest. So I go like 75. And you do the maths. Do the maths here. Like I always kind of like divide it up. If 175, then 50. and then 25. So that might be a cool like version of it, you know, like kind of old ABC. You can use, it says in the instructions, 2 to 3 colors. So, but they should be based off of your color. So don't like, I could do this then. So this is contrasting. Do this. Woo, look at that. That's kind of cool. You know, like, so play around with a contrasting color. Contrasting. We don't want the colors so close together that you can't, you know, see your icon. So you can do people. You can trace it different ways. If you want to use like, be more brush-like, like look at examples. You know, I have some. Feel free and look at more. I mean, this is the Olympics for many, many years. Or, oh, that's a cool one. You could do something like these on the end. What if you did, you don't, I guess you don't have to do the full color fill. So like if I took my background, oh, this is a great idea. And I flipped it 45. And then behind that, because I'm only using 2 colors, I did the same color fill, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go object, arrange, send the back, and then I'll change that to orange. So like now it's going to have those orange corners and then the orange person. And then I would do this same setup for each one, but then I'd be like yellow and purple, red and green, or something like that. You know, like, so you would have 6 versions, because what you can do is I can just flip flop these. So if I take these and I make the background, this is why you do those color swatches. This like gets it so easy. There we go. And then I put, you know, then like the icon. Of course, you know, it would be a different icon, me doing something else. And then I can just switch that fill to this, and it knows the tints, tones. So like there's one color set, there's another color set. So you just take 2 colors and you work with them opposites. That's a cool idea. Another thing, so I do like disc golf, and for Christmas, I got a disc golf board game. It's super great. It's a lot of fun. The problem is they have these cards, and the cards are horrible. The design on the cards is so bad. I said, I'm going to redesign these and reprint them myself, and because I hated them. Like, they're just, ugh. So it revolves around disc golf. And so I had to make a disc. And you guys, this is like the crazy part. So I used reference to do that. You think like, oh, I don't know if you guys know what disc golf. It's frisbee golf. It's also known as, the wrong name is frisbee golf. So you would be like, oh, that's easy. Let's go back. All I need to do, and this is what I don't want you to do. Oh, super easy. There it is. I like disc golf. Like that's an oval, right? Like that. If nobody knows what that is, I'd be like, what? Why is it? That just looks like a 1960 design, you know? Like, okay, whatever. So, projects.
Question, Joe.
Yeah.
On your list of things like sub sections you have one called type.
That's so if you keep reading lower, I just want you to type what the thing is in case I'm not familiar with LARPing. And then like I need to know like, okay, we're going to delete that. The type is just for you to type in what your activity is. Because like I said, I don't know everything. So I started redoing these cards. And I needed to make a little disc. What did I do? I went in my house, put down a disc, and I traced on top of it. And I made the color profile for like the shadow, the line, the middle, and like this then looks like, instead of just a stupid oval, you know, like this, I could put this in there and it has, this is all one color too. I am not joking. I did the shading. Like I did that shading thing that the spot color. This should be spot colored. I'm 90% it is. So it adds more depth. And then I can kind of see like, oh, this is an object, and it can all be done with a single color. You start with the darkest, and then you start making lighter versions of that. So think a little bit, you know, like, oh, I love baseball. I'm done. No, that's a circle. I want to see, you know, like, I got to change the color. You know, like I want to make sure I see the stitching. And the stitching is correct. You wouldn't believe how many times I get this. Let's make it orange, right? I like basketball. And then for some reason, if you love I need that. Then you're like, yeah, basketball. Perfect. It's like, so yeah. I think that's it. I think that's what a basketball looks like. And it's like, holy crap, go online and look up a basketball. Like, look at what they really look like. And then trace it. Because there's nothing like getting it wrong. Because look at, like, even if you just did this and you did those lines, this speaks volumes. And it shows that you know what you're doing over this. And where you're guessing what the lines are. You know, like just pick one and like you just drag this right on top, drag it right in there. And I just have to, I can draw right on top of this basketball. Like I literally just pulled it whoop, right in it. It works sometimes, not all the time. But like then use this as a perfect reference. So if I was going to do a basketball and say I wanted it like really pretty accurate, you could just sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to lock this object, lock, selection. And then the thing is, you're thinking, but the lines in it are black. You know what? Do them dark blue. It's going to look really cool if you do it dark blue. And I'm going to do it like, I'm going to click and drag. Oh, and I'll show you guys this one. All right, so there's my one line. I'm going to do the stroke. I'm going to do my blue. I'm going to pump it up. And then if you click on this stroke name and you go down to this profile, you can change it. Look at that. And now it goes from thin to thick to thin, just like it does on the basketball. Like, what? That was like a one-step process. Do the other ones. Click. Let's click and drag. Click and drag. And click and drag. And click. This one starts skinny, but ends thick. That's no problem. They have that. I'll go up to 2. I'll click on stroke. I'm going to look at it. And it's this one. So I did it, but it's backwards. It goes, instead of thin to thick, it's going thick to thin. Not a problem. Right next to it, see, with profile is this thing, and it reverses it. So now it's thick on one end, thin on the other. And I can put that there. And you pump it up, like, and if you don't like it, you just change it. Like, that's too thick. It may need to be thicker there. I don't know if there's a way, you play with some of these. With this one, what if I do that one? Something like that, and then flip it. No. But it's giving it some life. And I could do 2 more. So what the main takeaway here is, don't guess. Just use a reference. Just draw on top of it. It's what everybody does. It's not cheating. It's using a reference to get it. Because oddly, we don't know what it looks like. As much as I do stuff, hobby-wise, I don't know what it looks like. I could, if you walked away, I don't know what item it would be. I'd stumble over if you're like disc and draw a disc for me. I'd be like, oh boy, okay, how to do that? Why even struggle? You just play around. Do that stroke again, uniform. Let's do it. This one. Let's flip it. Oh yeah. And then I'm gonna make. I don't like the way this ends. So I don't like. See how it flips up? That line flips up. That's adjustable. So you go to stroke and you can change your endpoints. So maybe that's better. Click around, see what all of these little things do. I can't make it better. You know why? Because I think I have a curve on the final point. Let's see if I can adjust that. So play around. And this shouldn't, again, I'm sort of doing a bunch in a little bit of time. Once you do one, everything should follow suit. Meaning, do one, get what you like, and then design all the other ones based on that first design. Get a circle going. Let's not make it blue. We want it the orange. Object, arrange, send it back. Get that there. I just gotta delete my unlock all. Delete. And there's the basketball. I just copied a real one instead of trying to make it up and getting it raw like this. This is not representational. This is. Everybody's going to know what that is, even if it's a little bit sloppy. Not everybody's going to understand this or this. If you want baseball, get a baseball. If you want a soccer ball, whoever plays football or soccer, look that up and trace it. Do not try to figure out this pattern from your head, because it is not all the same pattern. It is a hexagon centered with a pentagon, and everybody forgets that, and they do it wrong. And then they try to make and it just ends up being squares on the edge, whatever. So use a visual reference, especially for sports balls. So, and yeah, have some fun. It's all about what you like to do. 6 different items. It can, anything. It doesn't have to be sport related. It does not have to be sport related. It can be knitting, book reading, flower arranging. I don't know. Whatever you are interested or like to do. You put a cell phone on there, but make it look like a cell phone. I like to sit on my cell phone and scroll. Then put a cell phone on there, but make it dynamic, and then everybody knows what that cell phone is. Have some fun. So that is the portfolio builder. And remember, these are going to be used again on a different project toward the end of the half semester. So any questions, comments, or concerns about this project?
So we gotta make six artboards.
Yep.
Okay. And we can pick from the references list that you set up already? Any, like,
No, I want you to pick what you do, your interests.
I know, but if I have an interest that's on the list, then I
Oh,
can use that.
yeah. If you're,
It doesn't have
there's
to
not a
be-
list. Oh, I just have these. This is just like,
Yeah, that.
yeah. So you're into sailing? No, I'm just kidding. No. No, it could be whatever. Yeah, it's whatever. This is just to give you examples from many, many different years and ideas of like, how should I do this? Oh, somebody did it like this. Somebody did it like that. It's idea generation. So, yeah, it does not have to be from, like, oh, I saw that there is one. You like drinking coffee? Put a coffee mug on there. I don't care. It's up to you to choose what you want to represent yourself as in these 6 icons. 6 different icons. 2 colors. Anything else? All right, cool. Have some fun with this. Again, don't rush into all of them. I would do one first, get it how you like it, and then do the other 5 based on the first one. But you can write down your ideas, be like, first, like, I'm going to use these colors, write them down. I'm going to do, mustard color. I want a mustard color, and I wanted this color, and I wanted this color, and I wanted this. And then make your colors, like kind of pre-set yourself up, make your spot colors. And then like design one and be like, I like this. And then everything else should follow suit, and it should be pretty easy. So cool. All right, you know how to reach me. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, have some fun with this one. Play around, use visual reference. It's not cheating. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what you've done. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who've turned in the book cover project, blown away. Excellent work. Really great work. So good job on those. I know you guys can do it. That's why I see what happens, and I'm like, what? So great work. All right. I will, if I don't talk to you on the discussion boards, I will see you next week, Monday. Take care.